Hey everybody, it's me, Myra, at Down Home Money, a simple approach to financial freedom. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday, it's my day, and I'm excited to be with you. So today, I want to talk to you about Airbnb. And so many people have gotten into Airbnb, and so many people act like they're making tons of money. And honestly, I haven't had that experience, and I've been doing rental property and been in the real estate business for over 30 years. And I tried it in Florida, and I bought some great properties in Florida in the 2014, 15, 16. I had 3 condos there, and the property management company, who charged me 25%, made more money at the end of the year after I paid taxes and insurance and utilities. You know, there's so many things that you have to do with Airbnb, the extra, that when you have long-term rentals, you don't really have to do it. So for one, I'm paying for cable, internet, TV services. You're paying all the utilities, water, electric, and then you're paying to have it cleaned every time somebody moves out. Now that is charged on Airbnb or VRBO, whichever you use. I use both. I actually prefer VRBO, but you know, that's a personal preference, but they both do the same thing. And how Airbnb works is that you get signed up with Airbnb or VRBO, and you sign your property up, and people go on the site and rent it from there. They pay Airbnb, they pay VRBO, they collect the money, and then they direct deposit in your account. Well, you better pay attention, because in May of this year, VRBO did not direct deposit in my account, the biggest month. And we spent hours on the phone with them. I have a guy that manages my properties, and it was so frustrating, honestly, because first of all, you can't find a number, and so you have to go through all this process to get with somebody on the phone to help you. And finally, in June, they deposited all of May's and all of June's. So I did get my money, but it was delayed and there was a lot of process. So I just want to share that with you, because they are controlling all of that. And they control the complaints, they control the feedback, the reviews, everything is controlled right there. So with that said, my first experience was from 2014. I sold those properties in Florida just because the market got so good and I just wasn't making any money. I mean, I had not that much money tied up in these condos because I bought them at the right time of the market, but I was making less. I mean, I had maybe 101. Okay, one I had like 80 something, 82,000. The other one I had in the 100 range. And I might net, because it's all about net. What the money, how much money do you have for your family at the end of it, at the end of the year, and before you pay taxes, you've written everything off. What is that net number? So for me, because I'm paying 25% for the management, property management, then all your expenses, then your utilities, everything you're paying, bottom line, I wasn't making 5% on my money. And that's just not acceptable for me, because I can do long-term rentals and not have the make readies or the move outs. I mean, very rarely when you have houses, do people move out after their lease ends. They usually stay, and I'm speaking on this on our properties for the last 30 years. I mean, I've got tenants that have been with me 10 years, 15 years, 8 years. I mean, we have long-term tenants, because when you take care of people, they stay. And so we just started weighing out all of our profit and loss statements. And we're doing that again, because I will say the great thing about an Airbnb, if you want to buy one, is if you're going to use it. So like if you're buying one in a destination place that you and your family want to go stay, what a great thing to do, because not only will it make money and pay for itself, but you also have a place to make great memories with your family. For us, Florida was that for us. We were in the Panama City Beach area. But what we found is our place was booked all the time. We wanted to go and stay. So here's a good tip. Book out when you buy a property, especially if it's never been on Airbnb before, book out your weeks. Go ahead and figure out for the year when you want to go stay and book your weeks, because once you get a really great property, people book a year in advance. I didn't realize that. Nobody told me that. So the funny thing is that after we looked at all the numbers, so first of all, let me say this. After we looked at the numbers, we sold out of Florida. And we held our money. I mean, some of the properties we doubled our money. I'll put some videos up. We doubled our money on. So it was a great deal, right? Even though we didn't make a lot on the actual rental based on the expenses, the HOA. If you're buying condos, be really, really careful because of assessments. I had a $4,000 assessment that really cut into my profit one year. So you've got to look at the big picture when it comes to real estate. So we sold out of Florida, and I love Galveston Beach. I live in Texas, and it's only about 4.5, 5 hours, depending on how fast you drive. We did it in 4.5 hours this weekend. That was a little scary. But anyway, no traffic, because it was Sunday when we drove back, and that's why we made it so fast. But normally it's 5 hours because of Houston's traffic. But the property we bought a second row beach house. Now this property had been in Airbnb and it was very popular. So what we found was we never got to go stay at it. Every weekend we'd have to be free and we'd want to drive down and go, somebody was in it. So we bought another house that we do not rent out. But the wonderful thing is this one, we thought would still pay for all the expenses on this one. But remember, you have occupancy tax, which is hotel tax, so to speak. You have 25% if you do property management. You have all the expenses that you're going to have. I mean, I've got my Wi-Fi. I've got my TV expense, my electric, my water, all these expenses. So let me share with you where I'm at. Here we are. It is November, right? So I pretty much know, unless I get some last minute bookings, which November, December are not real busy. So I'm not going to make a whole lot more money for the year because most of it's made in the months of April, May, June, July, August, okay? So far this year, this property, now I paid $510,000 for this property, this beach property, $510,000. Now, if I bought a property for $510,000 here in Denton, where I know the market well, I wouldn't buy one that expensive, but I could buy 2 properties and rent them and make probably about $5,000 a month, so $60,000 a year. But my expenses would be limited to repairs, insurance, and taxes, right? Whereas my expenses are not limited here because you have hotel tax, which in the state of Texas, the state is 9%, the city is 6%, so that's 15%. Plus 25% if you have property management. So now you're looking at 40% off the top. 40% off the top. So now I'm dealing with, I have 60% left and I need to pay taxes. In the state of Texas, taxes are really high. You can figure about 2.25% for your taxes, for your real estate taxes. So that comes off the top. Insurance, because it's a beach property, so you have to have flood insurance and wind, hail, and storm insurance. That's very expensive. And so let me give you an idea on what these expenses cost. So insurance this year was reduced. Last year was $7,000. Wow. This year it was $4,531. My real estate taxes this year on this property were $8,891.80. So this just starts adding up, pretty fast. So let's see some more big expenses. Oh, utilities. Okay, so my TXU bill, my electric bill, so far through November, $2,000. My so my cleaning, because your cleaning services, so Airbnb and VRBO collected. So if you're charging the person that's renting it, the guest, $200 per visit or whatever for cleaning. And then you want to negotiate with whoever's going to do the cleaning, so you can make money on that if you want to. But my cleaning for the year, I've got a guy that does the cleaning and checks the website for me, the Airbnb and VRBO, and takes care of all of that. So far, I've spent $15,763 on that. So that is through October. And then AT&T Internet's about $900 a year. Water, Galveston Water is about $1,010. TV, DirecTV is at $954. So far this year, my expenses are $40,067.26. My income from VRBO and Airbnb so far this year has been $50,533.86. So as of right now, November 15th, my income is $10,466. So when you take, just to give you an idea how we all look at this, $10,466, and you divide that by 510, because that's what I paid for it, then I'm making 2% on my money. So I'm going to probably be selling this Airbnb because it's not performing, and I already bought another property for me to use. Because remember, I bought it for that one reason, because I know long-term rentals, I can make a lot more money on my money than I can on Airbnb. And I knew that going into this. I did it because truly I thought, you know what, if I can buy that and enjoy it and it pays for itself, not really a money maker, but a pay for itself, then that's great. And what I found is that it's not really happening for me. So I also want to share, if you have an Airbnb in Galveston, they do an audit every year. And what happened to me is they did an audit, and then they came after me for what the guy before me had not paid in hotel tax. Listen carefully. Find out when you're buying a property, you need to make sure that that has all been paid. If that property has been on Airbnb and VRBO, you need to make sure that's been paid, because as the new owner, you're now responsible for what they owe. My guy was a stand-up guy. I called him. He worked with the city of Galveston and took care of it. But if he had not, I would have owed that. So that's another little tip you need to understand with these hotel taxes. It's not treated as private property and real estate. It's treated as a commercial. And depending on the laws and how they're written, every city's different, I'm sure, but in Galveston, if you own an Airbnb there and you buy an Airbnb that's been an Airbnb, and if that owner had not paid the hotel tax per their, whatever it is, charter, I think is what it's called, per their charter, their city charter, you would owe that tax. So as the new owner. So same thing if like a hotel sold out, the new hotel owner owns any taxes from the previous owner. It's ridiculous, and you're going to be upset when they call you, and I happened to be a part of that audit, and I was not very happy. I mean, I thought I was going to have to get an attorney involved because I kept saying, wait a minute, I haven't owned it that long. They wanted to go back until 2017. I just bought the property in April of 2021. So I kept arguing, and then I realized quickly that I wasn't getting anywhere. I had to go to the previous owner. He was a stand-up guy. He met with them. They used comps that they've had. So they were comparing this property to a really high revenue property, and that wasn't the case. So we just pulled the numbers, gave them the actuals, paid our taxes, and went on. But guess what mine were? Just from April to September, because in September of 2021, they started pulling those numbers. So mine was owed $4,531 that Airbnb and VRBO had not sent to the city of Galveston. But as of September of 2021, Airbnb and VRBO collect now for the city of Galveston. So I don't have to worry about it to collect on the front end. But those are just things you need to know. So anyway, I hope this was helpful on Airbnb. If you've got any questions, please let me know down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for our monthly newsletter. I'll put a link down below. And as you know, Down Home Money, A Simple Approach to Financial Freedom. You can get it on Amazon, and I'll read it on Audible. I'll see you next Tuesday. See you soon.